Saramosh Fidabase everybody. The Rulers of Altitude DLC is finally out, and we are here at the peak of it to run through it with great haste. Conquering monuments, torching the countryside, and committing war crimes. Everything we love doing here. Without further ado, we jump into a classical 13th century marriage counseling session. Our hero for the day is sick and tired of her overbearing husband telling her what to do. This campaign is sponsored by the Armenian Ministry of Tourism. Tamar's husband, Yuri, has control over a monument or whatever, and apparently capturing it is how you become the dominant in a relationship. Thanks, Akari. I've been itching to combine two things I'm terrible at. I see that pathing hasn't improved much with the new patch. As a second objective, the game tells us to repair some churches around the countryside, and we move to it straight away. Dude, you reek of desperation. Our starting army is weak, but breezes through the first church without issues, and we march on to the next. Tamar, the Great, the Builder, the Priestess. Our little army gets crushed, but the heroes survived well with Tamar chanting the poems of the builders. Meanwhile, the first church gets repaired, and it becomes ours, along the villagers that were skulking around. The map feels so very alive, gives me Jadwiga vibes. Second church repaired, and we start advancing to Castle Age. Georgian Castle Age is a fun thing, and the Monaspa, their unique unit, is something I've been looking to try ever since it got announced. But first another town center to speed up the process. I really like the heroes in this scenario. Just watch one of them betraying us and half the campaign turning into a revenge story. Oh no, they're attacking me. Let me just hide in this church and rain hellfire on them. Just gotta remember we don't have murder holes yet. Now we just plop down Wait, where's the castle? I'm upset, but knights will do for now. And how does that make you feel, Tamar? Apparently angry, as she tasks us with killing this little fella up north. Luckily it's the same way as the last church, so we combine the useful to the pleasant and murder some bad guys here before marching towards the Cumans. Come on, can't the villager just walk around the mule cart? Okay, this is a bit annoying. Proper first world problem. We walk into the Cumans camp, but the bells call me back to deal with another fun raid happening in our lands. Are you threatening me, Yuri? God, this relationship is so toxic. Like everything in this game, there's a big fuck-off castle in the way, and we're not allowed to make siege workshops. The Cumans have them. I wonder if I can convert them for myself. Population is kept at 100 for this scenario, so like good Georgians we are, Stalin's teachings are followed and we sacrifice some peasants. Since we can't deal with the Cumans yet, we march on towards the Azunari. The Svan towers here fit really well, but looking at how they look in real life is so dopey. I'm no city planner, but I find it hard to believe this is the best way to place towers inside a city. The castle inside their city is an ally, so I just have to deal with the tower in front and the king that pops out after? Way ahead of you on this one, your highness. We get a castle finally, time to let the spicy side of Georgia come out. Since castles are enabled now, we build another one where the third cake purple comes from. Backup army arrives, and the monk gets to town on their siege workshop. I know you guys wanted to hang out together, but I don't think that's sufficient for me. The little houses of doom are built and sent on the way towards the castle. Out west, the Monaspa Nightmares racks up 17 damage per unit, but I think we can do better. Ugh, one ram is gonna take forever to deal with this. Let's see what's waiting for me down in Yuri's side of the map. Maybe we can even just walk in and take the monument. I mean, that if we can make it inside the walls. Maybe it's the other way around. Just gotta vaporize these fuckers away from Armenia. Yoo-hoo, is somebody home here? Thank you very much, Mr. Pikeman. Oh, so you're finally gonna get off your ass and come get me? Naturally, there's another set of gates before the monument, and after dealing with Yuri's pathetic army, the Monaspas hit the gate with spears until it comes tumbling down. Then the final guard of the monument falls, and it becomes ours. Ooh, someone's gonna sleep on the couch tonight. Yuri put back in his place in 48 minutes and 55 seconds. But this is the 13th century, and no man would accept a woman beating him, and Yuri is back with a vengeance. The objective here is simple, surviving Yuri's siege for 15 minutes by not allowing him to capture the monument back. And since we're Georgians, I'm gonna make sure they never even see the monument. As any good siege, we're also tasked with going out to fight outside the walls. A siege workshop is necessary to deal with the castles, so... Wait, I have Monaspas. Who cares about rams? We're stuck once again in Castle Age, so Monaspas are definitely the way to go. Oh my god, Yuri, is your ego so fragile? It was nothing personal. The castle I have to destroy is Byzantine. Maybe rams are not that bad of an idea. I'm still going full Monaspa, but at least the rams can deal with the thousands of HP a bit more easily. This seems like a force strong enough. Let's roll. The Georgian rebels are the closest to our city, so we stop by to say hi to them first, And what is this? You thought you could sneak by without getting a hug? The rams finally arrive, and after a few pounds, we are graced with this beautiful crumbling animation. Very crumbly. Georgian rebels neutralized, and we set our eyes on the Byzantines up north, where our first challenge appears: how to get in. After almost walking around the whole city, we ride in and start a slap fight with the Byzantines. I chose the longest possible way. So typical. The monument hasn't really been threatened, but a castle is plopped right in front of it anyways. Back at the Byzantines camp, the death snails arrive at the castle, who quickly becomes dust. No more Byzantines. Alright, things going great, so just need to hold off Yuri for 29 minutes. Nah, fuck that. Let's give him another spanking for being a naughty boy. Is Bakardi using militia? Oh, cool, it's the warrior monk. I forgot they're Armenian. The walk animation is a bit off, his moonwalking forward. We cross the bridge and start unleashing terror in Yuri's camp. Even if I don't end up defeating him, I'm sure I can do some heavy damage and weaken him. So Bakardi and Ivane, my allies, are being useful. What is happening, Age of Empires? I don't think I've ever seen someone so butthurt about the breakup. And his lands are as weak as he is butthurt, especially against my best friends and I. What happens if I actually defeat him? If the game ends earlier, I might have a chance at a much better time. And it's not even a full party of Monaspas. Or even upgraded Monaspas. They might not have much left, but they have siege rams. Haha, how did they get siege rams? Seems to me the castle is the only thing standing between me and glory. You don't siege me, I siege you. The castle sure looks lonely and bored. I think it needs some Monaspa extravaganza. Yuri being on Imperial Age is a bit of a surprise, because we're shitting on him. Yep, Yuri defeated, and I got an achievement for this. I'm your daddy now. Some lessons are worth giving twice, and Yuri learns that the hard way, in 31 minutes and 30 seconds. With the insecurity out of the way, Tamar could focus on more important things, like pillaging the countryside. God, I love this woman. This scenario is a lot more limiting than the previous ones. While we are allowed to reach Imperial Age, no additional villagers can be constructed. We have an economical ally we must protect across the river, but let's be honest, I'm not touching the water with a 10-foot pole if I don't have to. Walls are built while the Monaspas are being trained. They didn't disable fishing ships, so we have at least one way to grow a bit more. The first raiding party is ready quickly, and we move to scout the objective, defeating the Cumans. While scouting, we also liberate the countryside. Efficiency. The main city in the middle of the map is well defended, so we avoid it for now. We might also just avoid it completely, as they're not the objective here. She's called Tamar the Builder, but if history was anything like I'm playing this, Builder might not be the best adjective to give her. And things are only getting worse for them once they hit Imperial Age. Way ahead of you on this one, buddy. But since he wants carnage, let's give it to him. I should have probably brought siege units with me. Or not, there's not much of a struggle here. And this is not even the Monaspa's final form. Jesus Christ, the Turkoman's camp is just melting. It's 16 minutes in, and they're having to hide in towers. Haha, they're even sending Trebs to try and attack me. They have some castles scattered around, and those give me some troubles. Wait, Yuri is here? He sure has been quiet so far. Another beautiful army ready, and on the way to finish the job down south. Are you shitting me, Yuri? Okay, fine. Guess I'll just have to take a little detour to crack some skulls. Just gotta run under this town center and hit it a couple of times like this. Then run up here and hit this one town center a couple more times, and then break this castle right here. Yuri beaten a third time, this one in under 5 minutes, and I really hope we throw him in a dungeon this time. Apparently not. Lame. We go back to bullying the Turkomans, this time with an army strong enough to deal with the castle. So the Georgians are a defensive civilization, but has a unique unit with 22 damage when fully upgraded. A cavalry unique unit with 22 damage. You can't run from the war crimes. The terror continues spreading inside the Turkoman's camp, with the ships being the only ones safe because fuck water. And shortly after, their buildings start collapsing on themselves. Should I switch the difficulty for the next scenario? I've played exclusively on standard so far, but maybe it's time to amp up the challenge a bit. A smart and sensible choice, Atabeg. Georgian apocalypse is real, and you should be scared. Protectorate done in 37 minutes and 15 seconds. Difficulty changed to moderate, and we jump into Bob the Builder, which, unlike what you might think, it's not about building, but fighting the Bakardi Sultanate instead. Nothing like an endless sea of Monaspas can't easily deal with. Our best buddies, the Zakarian brothers, are back, and we immediately tell them to train infantry to beef up the war effort. I get a bit worried about the increased difficulty and order another town center and, oh god, 6-1 odds. I might have made a mistake. Although 6-1 seems a bit exaggerated, do they really have 900 units? Tamar is such a player, half the people around want to marry her. There is one thing I've been forgetting, and it's the fucking churches, because we weren't doing well enough already. Not a lot of gold around the map. Hope the Zakari builds a market soon. We have a few secondary missions, and while the war preparations are being made, we recapture the cities around us. Without a single unit lost. Can you also build a market so I don't go bankrupt? A little break is necessary to go visit nephew, and how refreshing it is to talk to someone that isn't hitting on Tamar. At least I hope her nephew isn't hitting on her. The Monaspas march on to the next town center, and shortly after, it bites the dust, liberating it from my Zakarian buddies. Ooh, this one is surrounded by ships, and it isn't anymore. I'm not feeling the difficulty increase yet. Once again, I speak too soon. Meh, they can deal with it. I need the steam rolling. At this point I realize the Zakarian brothers are Armenian and could be training archers. Haha, silly me. 4 cities liberated and we control half the map. This is going great so far. We'll see about that, Captain Morgan. Oh yeah, I forgot there's Saracens in the game, but they don't seem that strong. Good for me, as I thunder towards the final city. A castle here should neutralize the Mamluk threat permanently. Somehow the Shaddadids rebuilt their army really fast, but mine is faster. The final city is liberated, but at a heavy cost, only 3 Monaspa left. Good thing it only takes 11 seconds to train each Monaspa. 11 seconds. And they have a market now, how splendid. Where? They keep saying they're under attack, but I never see it. The Armenian castle looks a whole lot like the Georgian one. Like, very similar, just a bit more round than the main tower. At this point I had forgotten to send the Zakarian brothers anywhere, so I send them towards the side quest to free Trebizond for the nephew. And they don't care, sending Trebs first to show who's boss. I'm really liking the scenarios in this campaign. They look really well detailed and really well made, and oh my god, Zakarians. They're not going easy on them. They're gonna be ranked really high on the campaign ally tier list, I can tell you that already. Time to go after the Caribbean states, with a full 60 pack of Monaspas. Upon arrival, the Bakardi Sultanate sends wave after wave of inferior cavalry to try and stop me from advancing. But the Monaspa is inevitable. We thunder through his camp, torching his military production buildings, when suddenly a noise starts happening. The first castle falls, but not without taking a lot of casualties with it. I'll have to come back in a bit. And more military production is what we need. More castles equal more Monaspas, and more Monaspas equal more fun. It's all basic geography. I think the Zakarian brothers are doing just fine. The Saracens, on the other hand, could fuck off for all I care. How are they training military so fast? Not a big fan of what's happening here. But we managed to break through their defense lines and move straight towards their military buildings to break the defense. They don't have much left, but the next assault should be the only production buildings. Thank God I'm not alone here, because the Zakarian are doing some work. Monaspa Extravaganza Part 3, The Rebirth. Oh shit, I forgot about the Asnauri cavalry. 15% more Monaspas is 15% more fun. I see what you mean by they're under attack now. They're sending naked rams to the front line. Oh my god, they have so many units already. What the shit, this is a meat grinder. Thank you, Zakarians. That made destroying the castle much quicker. We storm the city searching for the buildings and are greeted by another fun wave of cavalry. Our beautiful cities have almost raised Trebizond. Maybe I have to send a unit there to convert it. Time to have our buddies fully focus on helping us. At worst, we have someone to distract the Sultan's troops. Trebizond becomes a friend, and the nephew starts asking for more favors. I'm sorry buddy, but you're on your own here. The distraction works wonders, and we rush past them, destroying everything we can on the way, until we are cornered in a completely pointless part of the city. Next batch should be the last one. Well, this explains why the Sultan has been so chill. They've been torturing my new friend. Another batch fresh off the oven, and we rush to Sultan's castle. And it seems like the Saracens got the same idea as us, but I don't have the time to deal with that. We got castles to destroy. And with both castles gone, the Sultan resigns. This was much tougher than I thought it would be. Well, you better keep that promise, you little bitch. Tamar the Builder smashes and destroys in... no... 1 hour, 21 minutes and 9 seconds. Tamar lived a long and successful reign, but she wanted one last big campaign. by completing as many secondary objectives as possible. So completing secondary objectives we shall. Ah, life in the East is so fun, it's always do or die. I see Tamar install turbo on her horse, how revolutionary. Ooh, is this like Jadwiga, with the split scenario and stuff? I'm not sure, but I might keep playing in moderate difficulty. Last scenario was tough but manageable, and I did feel like the previous campaigns were a bit easy. The original rules were standard difficulty, and moderate does make my times worse, but at least I enjoy it a bit more. Fear not, villagers, we're here to liberate you from tyranny. Do not despair, as the bodies are for your own good. First city liberated, and they pay tribute. I made the right choice. We continue the march and arrive at a trading outpost, who quickly falls to the Georgian might. And apparently that awards us 10% faster gold income. Is this the first time a trigger like this is used in a campaign? I at least don't remember seeing something like this before. There's quite a lot of secondary objectives. I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish them all in 17 minutes. I know how to fix it. More Monaspas. At least we don't have to destroy buildings, or even castles, to liberate these poor peasants off the claws of the tyrant Shah. A little bit stopped now to get a couple more soldiers, and we march north to meet some old friends. We enter another city, and by the time we reach the castle, it also becomes ours. 12 minutes left on the clock, and I'm starting to feel the pressure. Not because this has been extremely difficult so far, but because if it is like the Jadwiga 6, every secondary objective makes the final battles easier. Luckily, we are cutting through every single enemy like they're butter, and now that we have a second army, we might just make it. Well, if I knew how to micromanage 2 armies at once. Atabeg is salty, and I wonder what they mean by we start the final battle with relics. 5 minutes left, and only the Gorid standing. And boy, do they have a nice looking camp. Would be a shame if someone torched everything to the ground. All main objectives completed with a minute left. I'm quite excited to see what awaits us. Aw, I'm sorry buddy, I'm not gonna destroy anything of yours. I'm not like the others. Clock runs out and oh, it's nighttime now. Really cool cinematic shot here. Now I'm hyped. We are given an option to send the Armenians back with the booty, or have them help out in the battle. I choose help. They have been godly so far, and I'm sure I'll need it now. We don't start with many soldiers, but at least we have a pretty solid camp, and enough to build a castle here, and another one here. There's a very short timer until the battle starts, and the Persian army sure looks mighty, with the new Savara and everything. Whoa, day begins now. Let's dance on Persian corpses. A bit of betrayal towards the Monaspa by building knights, but a battle is starting and I'm not sure I can hold out the Persians. Charge my beauties, charge. This looks so cool, definitely a top 5 battle in the campaigns. The Shah's army looks scary, but naturally the Monaspa prevails. The objective now changes to destroying 5 Persian cities, so let's crush these fuckers. Or maybe not, they have citadels and that hurts a lot. I'm gonna need more trebs for this. 2 just isn't cutting through the wall of bullshit HP. First castle falls as we get raided from the side, but at least we have a more open path. While the trebs are being built, we run around torching Persian buildings, tormenting unsuspecting villagers, and scouting ahead the way towards the remaining castles. While the trebs make way, we continue tormenting the Shah. He does some damage to us, but we have another army ready for him. Everything is very chaotic around, but the trebs arrive and line up to give the castle a proper pounding. 2 down, 3 to go. Desperation is a sweet, sweet cologne. Going directly to the castles is the fastest way, but we take a little break to clear out the military production buildings, before moving east for the remaining castles. Now, if only the pathing of the trebs would help me out a bit, we could have wrecked this castle a while ago. Reinforcements arrive, and the trebs continue working their hardest to finish 7k HP. 7000 HP on a castle is ridiculous, no wonder it's taking so long. Whoa, this building looks sick, can't wait to rain boulders on it. 4th castle falls much quicker, and I can taste sweet victory. The last one hides all the way in the corner, but not for long. Should we tell him about Genghis Khan? Nah, he'll figure it out at some point. A moment of silence for Queen Tamar. Final scenario of Tamar over in 57 minutes and 35 seconds. Total runtime, 4 hours, 16 minutes and 24 seconds. Hard to think 4 hours of gameplay gave me so much to talk about here. But not surprising at all considering this has been an absolute S-tier campaign. Incredibly rich in detail, awesome story and fun every step of the way. Also night and day cycle. There's nothing cooler in this game than night and day cycle. Partial time now stands at 151 hours, 34 minutes and 16 seconds. We stay in the Caucasus for now. Let's see if the other 2 new campaigns hold themselves next to the mighty Tamar. and the first one to be put to test is Toros. Armenia awaits us.